Okay, so to find the determinant, to find the inverse of 3 by 3, we also need only two components, all right? So assuming A is 3 by 3, then the inverse of A is the 1 over the determinant of A times the adjoint of A. This is irrespective of the dimension of the matrix, but the approach you use in finding the determinant of 2 by 2 will not be the same as that of 3 by 3. Okay, so we'll first of all look at determinant of 3 by 3 matrices. Now, given any 3 by 3 matrix A, whose components are A, B, C, M, N, K, X, Y, Z, to find the determinant of this 3 by 3, there you can discuss two approaches. There are several approaches, some illegal, some legal, but I will be considering two approaches. For the first approach, before you find the determinant of a matrix, each matrix has its own sign convention, which is they start with the plus, alternate to minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. So we have a plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Now, after applying the sign convention, you write down your preferred row or your column. Whether you're picking any of the rows, you should get the same answer as someone who's picking a column. Okay, so if I'm picking the first row as my preferred row, then it means that the sign conventions of the rest of the components are irrelevant now. Okay, so we take them out. We take out the sign convention of the rest of the components and write down the components of our preferred row together with their sign conventions. So we have class A minus B and class C. Now we go back to our matrix and cross out the rows and columns in which these components are. Our first component is A, and A is in the first row and the first column. We write down the 2 by 2 minor matrix. All right, the minor matrix that we are left with, find the determinant of. So we have N, K, Y, Z. Then we look at our second component, which is minus B. And minus B is in the first row and the second column. We cross this row and the column out, and we are left with M, K, X, Z. We go to our third row and go to our third component, which is C, and C is in the first row and the third column. We cross these out and we are left with M, N, X, Y. To move from this step on, we are only finding the determinant of these 2 by 2 matrices, and we know how to find the determinant of 2 by 2 matrices. So we have class A outside. Determinant of 2 by 2 matrix is product of members on the leading diagonal, NZ, minus product of members on the other diagonal, YK. Then minus B into bracket, product of members on the leading diagonal, MZ, minus product of members on the other diagonal, SK or KX. That is fine. Then we have plus C, MY minus NX. And that will give us the determinant of the 3 by 3. If someone were to pick the second row as their preferred row, you should get the same answer as someone who's also picking the third row. Should be the same as someone picking the first column, second column, third column, and so on. So if we pick any 3 by 3 matrix, let's see if we can find the determinant of such a matrix. So assuming matrix A is 1, 0, 4, minus 1, 2, 2, 0, minus 2, minus 3. To find the determinant of this matrix, first we apply the sign conversion, which is plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Okay, so here we're gonna pick first row and see if the answer will be the same as picking the second row or the third row. If you are picking the first row as our preferred row, then it means that the rest of the components, their sign conversions do not matter anymore. So we clean them out and write down the components in our preferred row together with their sign conversion. So we have determinant of A is plus 1 minus 0, which is, let me put a minus there. You later on see why you have to pick a row or column that has the maximum number of zeros, because you're going to multiply the 0 by everything in here, which is 0. So in some cases, you might try and ignore the 0 part. And then the last component, plus 4. Okay, now we go back into our matrix and cross out the rows and columns in which these components can be found. Our first component is plus 1. Plus 1 is in the first row and the first column. We cross these out and write down the minor matrix that we are left with, which is 2, 2, minus 3, minus 2, minus 3. We move on to the second component. The second component, which is 0, it's in the first row and then the second column. We cross these out and the numbers that were not affected are minus 1, 2, 0, negative 3. Move on to the third component, which is plus 4. Plus 4 is in the first row and then the third column. The matrix that we are left with is minus 1, 2, 0, minus 2. All right, so we find the determinant of these all minor 2 by 2 matrices. So we have minus 1 outside. 2, determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix is product of members on the leading diagonal, which is 2 times minus 3, that is minus 6, minus 2 times minus 2, that is minus 4. Now, because we are going to multiply everything that we get from here, because we are going to multiply everything that we'll get from in here by 0, I don't need to worry about what I'll get from this, because I'll multiply by 0.
So you see what I'm saying?
So I'll have minus 0 here, then plus 4, determinant of the last 2 by 2 minor matrix, we have minus 1 times minus 2, that is positive 2, minus 2 times 0, that is 0. If we simplify further,
don't worry about this. Yeah.
Is the class over?
No, madam.
No, madam.
So we have minus 6, negative, negative, that is positive, positive 4, minus 0, then plus 4 times 2. And this is equal to 1 times negative 2, that is negative 2, plus 0, that is 0, and plus 8, and this is equal to 6. So if we use the first row, the determinant of A is equal to 6. If we also use the second row, we should get the same 6. Okay, so let's try and see if we get the same answer if 6 to be the determinant if we use any other row. So the matrix was A is equal to 1, 0, 4, negative 1, 2, 2, 0, negative 2, negative 3. Okay, so we quickly apply a sign conversion, which is plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. plus, minus, plus. Now this time around, we're picking our second row. So it means that the sign convention of the rest of the components are irrelevant. So I'm going to clean them out and write down the components of my preferred row. So negative on -1, right? That component is already negative. Its sign conversion is negative. So negative on -1 becomes +1, +2. And the last two here, this is positive. The sign conversion on it is negative. Negative on positive becomes negative. Okay, now after this, we go back in the matrix and cross out the rows and columns in which these components can be found, right? The first component, which is -1, is in the second row and the first column. If we cross this out, the components that are not affected are 0, 4, -2, -3. Right, then we pick the second component, which is +2, this entity here. We cross out the row, cross out the column in which +2 is, and the numbers not affected are 1, 4, 0, -3. We locate our third component, which is -2, and it's in the second row, third column. We cross these out and we are left with 1, 0, 0, -2. Right, so the determinant of A is +1 times determinant of these two by 2 minor matrices. We have 0 times 8, that is 0, minus 4 times -2, that is -8, plus 2 into brackets, 1 times -3, that is -3, minus 4 times 0, that is 0, -2 out, 1 times -2, that is -2, minus 0 times 0, that is 0. So the rest is just to simplify, which is arithmetic. So we have this is equal to +1 into bracket, 0 minus -8, that is 0 plus 8, plus 2 into bracket, -3 minus 0, that is -3, minus 2 into bracket, -2 minus 0, that is -2. So we have this is equal to 8, -6, and then +4. So 8 minus 6, that will give us +2, +2 plus 4 is equal to, sorry. So it is low battery. All right, so 8 minus 6, that is 2, 2 plus 4, that is 6. So I'm going to employ you to try and use the third row and see if you get the same answer as
So, madam.
possible. Yes.
Please go up a little. No, up. Yeah, you said the answer is what?
It's 6. We have 8 minus 6, that is 2. 2 plus
Madam,
4.
are we not doing plus first? Is it not what mass we are using now?
You will get the same thing. You mean you want to move from left to right, right?
So 6 plus 4 is 8 minus 10.
Hey. What are you doing? The sign in front of 6 is negative. So you have -6 plus 4.
Okay, all right. Okay.
That is, yes, that is -2. -2 plus 8, that is +6. So please, the same matrix. Let's see if I've gotten enough. Okay. The same matrix A equals.
Yeah, madam. Hello, madam.
I'm listening.
Yeah, can you please scroll up to the formula? I think my network was disturbing me. I just want to jot the formula there. Thank you.
Let me see if I can get assignment for the week.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So assignment for the week, we have A. The first is we have A is equal to this matrix. The gentleman is recording, so you don't need to write this down. After he shares with you, you know what the assignments are. We have used the first row, we have used the second row. Use the third row as your preferred row or column. All right, so use the third row and go through the same approach and see if you can get the same answer as determinant being equal to 6. The second is find the determinant of these matrices. So we have 2, we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, you're finding the determinant only. And if you get a chance to watch the inverse of matrices, try and see if after finding the determinant, you can also find the adjoint of the 2 by 2 matrix. 1, then 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 6. Find the determinant of these 3 matrices. For the work to be unique, I wish it was a smaller class so that we can assign who is using row 1, who is using row 2, who is using row 3, who is using column 1, column 2, column 3, so that it will be unique, but it's not possible. So,
Please, madam.
Yes.
Please, I think the groups that we have, we can equally do that, and then probably when we are sending, we indicate that this person took this row or this column or something. I don't know if that one will be okay with you.
How many groups are in there, and how many in a group?
Well, in a group we are about 10 in a group, and then I think the class rep can give you the group, and probably you can look at it and see how you go about it, please.
And how many groups are there?
9 groups, madam.
9 groups, madam.
And 10 in a group, so you're around 9.
Yes, please.
Hey, how many do I have here? I have 49 participants, including myself.
I think when the thing went off, some funny difficult to join again, because when at first we were about 70 something, but now I think some people, you know, in the evening they found it difficult to join, depending on the location. Madam,
Oh,
Madam, you live your channel.
You live in a crime, four, 10 cities.
Supposed to drive to work, or
yes.
These days, you have to drive and petrol for the rest of the journey.
Madam, we are going to use bicycle very soon. If you need, I will give you.
Looking for us to buy.
Same.
Okay, so group 1, you are using the third row in question 1. Right, so group 1 is third row in question 1. Then group 2,
Yeah, that's my group.
you are using first column
Lion group.
The lion group, yeah.
in question 1. And group 3, you're using second column in 1. Group 4, you are using third column in question 1. Then for question 2,
There is a mistake.
Are
You
you-
said question 1. The first group should use
the third row
the third row
in question 1.
then said the third group also use the third row
So
in
instead, see, what we have done, we have used the first row, we got 6. We have used the second row, we got 6. So that of group 1 should use the third row to find a determinant. Then group 2 will use the first column. Group 3 will use the second column, and group 4 will use the third column. So the same question, 4 group members, but each group will have a different row or column. So group 1 will use row 1, group 2 will use column 1, group 3 will use column 2, group 4 will use column 3. Then when we come to question, so group 5, said there are 9 groups. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Group 5 will come to question 2 and use row 1. Group 6 will use, so this is group 5. Group 6 will use column 2. Group 7, this is for group 6. Group 7 will come to question 3. Group 7 will use the first row. Group 8 will use the first column, and group 9 will use the third column. Yeah, I think this should work. All right, so 1 to 4, yours is question 1. Then
Madam,
5 and
Madam,
6.
Madam, please, I request you add one more question to make group 10 because I learned some people have joined the class who are not within
All
the
right, then
group
group
because they
10,
just joined.
use question 3, row 3.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Please, are the group 10 are they constitute now? I think they just finished registration today, so I don't know whether
If
they've
they watch
constituted
the
group
video,
10 now.
yeah.